indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. Call the meeting to order. Looking for approval of the agenda. So good. Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of minutes from the September 29th, 2025 meeting. Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. New business. Item 1, Main Street, Coon Rapids update. Good morning, Katie. If you want to
I'm gonna hand something out before I get started.
And then you can read, so we won't introduce ourselves, but if you want to introduce yourself, you get back to the podium.
Thanks. Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Katie Mason. I am with the City of Coon Rapids and Main Street Coon Rapids. And I have with me today Bruce Pitzer. Bruce is one of the board members for Main Street Coon Rapids. And we just wanted to come before you guys and give you an update on what's going on in Coon Rapids, both from the city and the Main Street perspective. And so what I put in front of you today is our annual report for what Main Street has accomplished between July of 2024 and July of 2025. Some of the highlights, you may have seen some of the news coverage from RGTV. Having WHO broadcast from Coon Rapids was just a wonderful experience.
That was before the Iowa State game, right?
It was,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That was Tuesday before the Iowa State game. And that was just a fabulous opportunity to get some really positive promotion for our area. And that was a really fun event. Other things that are mainly while we focus on our downtown, Coon Rapids is small enough that we really just broaden and provide our resources to everyone in Coon Rapids. But some of the highlights, we give a scholarship every year to graduating Coon Rapids seniors who volunteer with our program. They have to give 10 hours per year they're in high school, and that's the only requirement. And then they're guaranteed a scholarship because we see the potential in our youth being involved in our program and feel like it also helps them, makes them more connected to our community and want to come back after they graduate high school. We have had 3 new businesses open in Coon Rapids in this last year. 4th Avenue Coffee and Bites is a new breakfast location. We had Hey Rosie's Creperies and Sips. It's a food truck. They didn't want to compete with the existing coffee shops, so they made theirs mobile. And they actually have been in a lot of different communities in Carroll County. They're in Glidden at least once a week. I saw that they were in Carroll at a flag football game last weekend. So they really just move around the county quite a bit, and that's been a nice opportunity for that family. We welcomed the start of 412 Main ribbon cutting. Holly actually received a startup grant from Carroll County Growth Partnership and Main Street Coon Rapids. And her business, she has a wedding decor business, and she's been in business for probably a decade, but she now has opened a boutique in the front of her business. She said, I have this building, I'm already here, I might as well have some open hours where people can come in and do some retail business. And she sources everything, not everything, a large amount of what she sells are people who make things from their home. So they are local products, like candles and shirts and home decor. We awarded a $5,000 expansion grant to Corey and Keely Sandin, who have a wellness business. They do personal training and nutrition center, and they have expanded to offer more services. We worked with Chuck's Bar and Grill to get a $100,000 challenge grant, and they will be finishing up their renovations the first week of November. So we'll be welcoming, doing a ribbon cutting for their expansion into a bigger building. We got a lot of art accomplished in Coon Rapids this year. When we look at buildings and there are some eyesores that you can't fix quickly or cheap, well, for instance, we had the side of the building that had paint on it, just a small amount of paint, you couldn't get it off, so how do you cover that? So we commissioned a mural to be put over that, but it's not, it's more of a sign, so that if somebody ever wants to put an addition on the side of this wall, we can take the mural off. We have, the grocery store had some infill windows that they put cinder blocks in. So we paid to have artwork put over those, and the artwork were ads from the grocery store from post-World War II. Perhaps some of them say post-war pricing. So we find creative ways to make these buildings look nicer. If we can't replace the infill block, cinder block with actual windows. We also did an interactive patriotic wings mural in our Veterans Park downtown. We had a summer intern and we received our Main Street Iowa accreditation. If you look at the second page, kind of our stats, how the numbers. At the very bottom, it says volunteer connections. What I find very impactful about our program is that we count all the volunteer hours of everyone. And so since our inception in 2010 to 2019, we've received over 16,600 volunteer hours. When you put a dollar amount to that, that's almost $500,000 in service. And so that's why we feel our program is so impactful. It's because of the volunteers who put in that much time. Going forward, this next 2026, our big project is streetscaping. Rapids is going to be redoing our about 3 blocks downtown. And so that will be a lot of construction, and that will be a lot of time spent with businesses and building owners trying to coordinate so that they don't have any downtime, so that we reduce any negative impacts then. Other things that Coon Rapids accomplished since last year, our Coon Rapids Lions Club built a new, very large concession stand at the school for football and baseball games, and they were able to open that for the baseball season. So that was a wonderful project. Our pickleball and tennis court was just resurfaced, so now we have the ability to do both. We've always been able to do both, but the surface had deteriorated, and so the city paid to have that redone, and that was a nice project. Some of you were at our trail project when we resurfaced that, and that has been very well received and was very much overdue. A couple weeks ago, we hosted the Lieutenant Governor with Empower Rural Iowa, and then we are very busy working on a new comprehensive plan to Region 12 to give Coon Rapids a 5 to 10 year strategic plan. We've accomplished a lot in the last 5 years, so it's kind of the what's next for us. So that's the much longer version than I planned to give today, since
No, that's
so much time to talk.
so when we had we're at the city county roundtable, your tennis court, pickleball court, you've got it where you can switch it back and forth. Is that right?
Yeah.
And so what did it cost to resurface that? Do you know? I know that's more of a city
Don't know.
council thing.
Yeah, Jess, is our city clerk. She would know that, but
Yeah.
she would.
They were describing it at the roundtable,
Yeah,
and it
and-
sounded nice.
I received a grant from Timmerman,
Okay,
and maybe from the Carroll County Foundation to help subsidize that.
gotcha. Yeah, you guys do some cool things down there.
I want to commend you. You guys do a nice job down there. The town's looking very nice. I've drove through there a few times, so.
Are you doing a harvest meal again this year?
We're not, we do that every other year,
Okay,
so not this year.
you don't want to compete with Brita?
Yeah, we stole
Yeah.
it. It'd be great fun.
And it's a fun one.
It is fun.
And you guys had 270 people.
271.
Yeah.
Out of 300 spots for 300.
That's fine.
Congratulations, that's a great
Yeah,
turnout.
that's a good turnout. Good weather, that's all that matters.
Yeah, you guys, yeah, you're a shining star. Keep up the good work and
So that Chuck's, is that gonna double his size, of his business?
Yeah, so,
Cause he's doing the building right next to it.
yep,
so he's got the courtyard on the one side, right? The patio.
no, so this is
No.
Chuck's Barn Grill.
Oh, I'm thinking north side. Okay.
Chuck's, they have, Chuck's has the outdoor patio that
Yeah,
they
it goes in the
built,
street.
they built in the street, yeah. So he bought the building next to him, and they have cut 2 doors in between his existing building and his new building. And the new building will be more family dining, so that if you want to come in and you have your kids or grandkids and you don't want to go to the bar area.
Or great
there's-
grandkids.
Or great grandkids, then you have a more family centered area. Yeah. Yeah, they have, they have nights where they have to turn away business because they don't have enough space in their current building. So this will help them expand and they want to be able to rent that new section out. Someone's having an anniversary party or a baby shower and they need just a space, or if I have a meeting where I need to have lunch for 20 people, I can rent out this new space.
So how did your streetscape come out on your sidewalks? I was down there when you guys had pylons marking of what it might be or
Yeah,
proposed. So where did you end up on that?
we will be doing some curb extensions.
Okay,
Not in all of the, not at all the intersections we had originally considered.
Right.
Because after talking to some of the building owners, there are some where they are bringing in, so like Drago. They sell and service bean and corn heads, and
Yep.
they are on the very west end. So for them to drive a truck with a bean head on it,
Yep.
they need to be able to turn wide, and those curb extensions would have,
so that was a nice trial period, putting those
yes.
temporary,
Yeah,
this is what
doing it, yeah.
proposed, yeah. Instead of doing it and then paying the consequences later, yeah.
Yeah, and the nice thing about that is we put those cones out as far as we could. And when we found out that didn't work, then we could bring it in a few feet and continue to bring it in until we found that sweet spot of what works. That's a very inexpensive way to do a trial and error.
Exactly. And it's putting the forethought in it and getting community feedback that
Yes.
helps, yeah. All right. Anybody have any more questions for
You
Kate?
guys definitely keep busy down there.
Yeah,
That's-
Thank you for the work you do.
Yeah.
yes, thanks. For that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item number 2, approve fiscal year 25 urban renewal annual report. Courtney, would you like to explain?
This is for or the Iowa corn processors urban renewal area. You can see there's zeros. This is an inactive area, but we're still required to file the report. I talked to Scott a little bit this morning. I believe this is a 20-year urban renewal, and I can't remember the exact year that it went into effect, but we've still got a few years on it for sure.
So we have to file this report every year then.
Even though it's
Yeah.
0.
Yep.
And I think we want to keep it for there is potential. Yeah.
I'll make a motion for the report.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the fiscal year 25 urban renewal annual report. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? Carried. Item number 3, manure management updates. Jesse Baumover, section 4, Maple River Township, no changes. Kevin Baumover, section 10, Maple River Township, no changes. Don and Doug Gherkin, section 21, Wheatland Township, no changes. Shown West Site, section 34, Richland Township, change crop, rotation, or optimum yields. Next is item number 4, committee reports.
I can go. I don't have much to report on.
Newspaper and radio.
Newspaper, radio last week. P
And again this
meeting.
week for Stephanie.
And no.
Really, is there need to be even do?
And then, I did have a complaint about, from a resident of Mount Carmel about
That lives on the side streets that said, wasting their money.
Yeah. What?
and
What we did on the Maple River, Mount Carmel.
gotcha.
I don't like that. We'll see
How it holds up.
And then I did want to report that Maggie Polly did have a person reach out for, sit on the board to replace Dr. Hine, and I think that's
The second or third
Third.
one that maybe would be interested. So, which is good. Yeah.
Yep. So I think the way that works is you guys narrow it down, then our board appoints, correct?
I guess so, yeah.
I think, is that the way it works, Courtney? Yeah.
We usually don't have multiple people that.
Yeah, that's awesome that we do have 3 people that
Yeah.
are expressed interest.
Which is huge, right?
Yep.
So, I have nothing else to report on this week, so.
Okay, last week, Monday, I caught the tail end of the Carroll County Cancer meeting at the Carroll Library. Wednesday, CCGP luncheon with Lieutenant Governor Chris Knoyer, which was actually a very interactive, very good meeting. It wasn't, she's also running for state auditor, but this was totally about her lieutenant governor role. Also Wednesday night, Mike was there. You forgot that, a Board of Adjustment meeting.
I said that, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Thursday, ISAC was in town, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I did go to dinner with the executive board out of Mackenrita's. Friday, Hub 712 held their pitch it event. And that was very interesting as far as people looking for grants for small startup businesses or businesses that they have already started. And they were kind of like new inventions on how to market it, and several grants were awarded. This week, Tuesday, tomorrow, the Manning Rotary Economic Development with Debbie Durham at the House Barn in Manning. Wednesday morning, we have a meeting for director recruitment for the solid waste commission director. Wednesday afternoon, Board of Adjustment. Thursday will be roads claims and Region 12 Policy Council. Friday, Chamber Coffee will be at DMAC, and I believe it's the Fraud Coalition presenting, and I'll also look at courthouse payables. Any questions?
Okay, I'll go next. Last week, Wednesday, was the CCGP meeting with Governor Chris Conrad. I agree with you. It was a very interactive meeting and discussion between everyone. And then Thursday, attended the ISAC retreat dinner out at Max and Rita's. Had a good conversation with different people there at my table. And, it was good to be included in that group. This week, Monday, today after I have to sign some more documents out at New Opportunities. Tuesday is Manning Rotary with Debbie Durham at the House Barn in Manning. And then Thursday morning, I have a CCGP executive board meeting.
Still had some callings about the railroad crossings in the Glidden area. So I reached out to Jeff Cullen and asked him if there's any policy or anything like that in place. He said there wasn't, but he's going to work on maybe creating a policy, and they will share during their 911 meetings we have and see if there's, hey, if this happens, what do we do? Just in what if, so I thought that was a good conversation with Jeff.
UP will tell you that they are federally governed.
No, this would be something like, hey, if we get called out, who do we call? We let the comm center know that, hey, we need to dispatch Carroll instead of Glidden, so we can, yeah, right. So we got, anyway, they're gonna try and work on that.
There's also by every crossing, there's a phone number. you
Yep,
call.
I told them that too, their phone number they can call, and they said they're gonna call it, because from what I understand, the UP does not like you calling them, because they have to follow up on it. Also went out and checked on the box culverts yesterday, just see how they did. The secondary roads did a nice job on both of those by Coon Rapids. And then I stopped up and talked with a couple of guys who are working on the Templeton shed. They got some walls up now. Looks like they're doing a nice job. They didn't know when the rafters were gonna come, but anyway, they're getting the walls up. Looks pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's all, the walls are all flat framed up.
Yep. So, and then I went to the cancer registry meeting at the library, very informative. And then they had a little meeting with Chris Canoyer at the Pizza Ranch, running for auditor. She gave a nice little talk. Very informative meeting, what she gave, what she's done, what she wants to do. Very informative to listen to her. This week, I'm going to try and make it to Debbie Durham meeting in Manning. We've got our opioids fund meeting on Wednesday. We've got 3 applicants, and it's a pretty good chunk of change. Now what we have to do as a team is approve them, make sure they meet the criteria of what they've applied for. And then what we'll do, we'll approve, and then I'll come to the board, have Courtney put on the agenda to approve the money to be dispersed to these entities, and we'll go from there. So this is our quarterly meeting. And then I don't know if I'm going to make the Region 12 meeting or not. Depends on how the weather does and what's going on. Got some grandkid stuff to do. So that's all I have going on this week.
I have one point with our meeting with Chris Canoyer. One of the people representing a small town said, knock it off on the property tax reform. Let the voters decide, because in her town, the people want a police force and they're willing to pay for it. So forget the property tax thing. It was a good discussion, I thought.
Yeah, there's a lot of good discussion.
What they were big on here was the EAS funding for the schools and stuff. That's a group was there.
I would also add, I did drive through Maple River and look at all the streets up there. I do like that black they put on top. I think that's gonna help that dust control and also hold that. I think
It's like they use bigger rock too, instead of the,
that stuff they put on top on
Yep.
the end, that looks like that could be a.
some type of fog. See,
I thought,
Cheap either.
No, we got some complaints about that. But cement was the only way to go, I think. I mean, with the washout.
That's just-
We got,
yeah.
washout.
Well, you're never gonna control that without the hill.
No.
The only way to control it is do what we did.
I thought it looked pretty nice. Same thing. I went and looked at it also.
We'll see how it holds up with the
Yeah,
different
it is.
style.
Yep.
Absolutely. If it works, we did good. If it doesn't work, yeah, we didn't do a good job, but I think you're right. We'll see how it goes.
Any comments from those in attendance? I don't see any. Courtney, next week?
Nothing other than bills.
Okay. Look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We got
Second.
2 motions and 1 second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. 9:21.